Titans hold the first overall pick and the 33rd pick.
Quarterback-driven league, we want to make sure that Marcus Mariota is protected. That's the priority. So it's easy for me with the number one pick. We hand in the card as Laremy Tunsil. We're going to put him in at left tackle. We'll move Taylor Lewan to the right side, and I'm going to make sure that my quarterback doesn't get beat around like he got beat up last year. Tunsil is a natural player. He's a guy that I think will shut down explosive pass rushers off the edge. There he had like a little holding call.
I know. That's by the way, Laremy Tunsil has so many unbelievable plays across the network.
Video.
That's our video.
But that's fine. I love his footwork. I love his balance and body control. It just makes the game very easy. You've compared him. We've talked at length about Jason Peters. That's who I believe he can be early in his career.
All right, pick 33.
I'm going to go with Von Bell. Von Bell from Ohio State, an ultimate traffic cop. Great communicator, great understanding of concepts and awareness. Does a great job running from numbers to numbers as a range player. I would like to see more physicality, a little more toughness, but in terms of having the prototype to play in the back end, he is that guy because his footwork and awareness and hand skills, he has everything that you look for at that.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just be a little more stout in between the tackles. Yep. I think he's good in the alley, takes great angles. He's a player I think has the ability to cover in the slot, can give you some versatility there. Let's move on. Jacksonville Jaguars, 5th pick, 38th pick. This is a team 5-11 last year. Offense looks good, Buck. Got a nice nucleus to build around. This is going to be about the defense in this draft. At pick number 5, let's go Miles Jack. I think we all have him going there in these mock drafts. The last one I just switched it up and said, okay, let's just do a scenario where he's not there. I just have a hard time thinking they would pass on him with all that he brings to the table.
A very talented player. I mean, naturally instinctive, does a great job of moving around and making plays. If he's healthy, we're talking about him being one of the top players at the top of the draft, 1, 2, or 3, because he's that kind of disruptive playmaker. You bring him in, add him to that defense, the Jaguars' defense gets much better.
All right, I got him at number 5 going to the Jags. Then at pick 38, they come back. They double down on defense. They go corner. Xavier Howard is somebody from Baylor who, when he ran at the combine, Bucky, I was shocked because he looks like he's very twitched up and explosive when you watch him on tape. Didn't run well in Indianapolis. Then he goes back to his pro day. I think he ended up running high 4.3s. And okay, that's kind of the guy that I saw. But he's big. He's got some ball skills. He's a little bit more fluid than some of the other guys that have that same size in this draft class. I think he'd be a good fit for them.
Should be a very, very good fit. They want to get better on the outside. They would like to have someone that can man their right cornerback position, allow them to kick Aaron Colvin inside to play nickel. He could be a guy that could do it. You look at the corners that Gus Bradley had when he was in Seattle. You just keep referring to Seattle, but that's where those guys would go from. Long, rangy guys that can put their hands on people and disrupt them.
All right, let's move on now. You're up next here, Bucky. The Indianapolis Colts, pick 18, pick 48. 8-8 football team last year, although Andrew Luck missed a good chunk of the season.
He did miss a good chunk of the season. And with this pick, the Indianapolis Colts fans are going to be unhappy with me on day one. Draft night, day one, we have to get through it. They're going to be unhappy. But I'm going to say they go get Leonard Floyd. Okay. Leonard Floyd at 18 because they need to find a pass rusher. You're older, Robert Mathis on one side, Trent Cole on the other. You need to find someone who can do it. And even though at this point his production doesn't match his potential, there's no denying his athleticism and what he potentially could bring to the table. He'll be a nice fit as an edge rusher for the Colts.
Yeah, he's one that's tough to find a comparison for because some of the comparisons I don't like in terms of the size. I think he's a better player than Mingo. I think he's going to be better than Deion Jordan. All right, let's move on now. Pick number 48. Where are you going?
I'm going to go your guy, Jermaine Ifedi, because now we want to make sure that we get Andrew Luck protected. We can bring Ifedi in, put him at right tackle. Now I feel better about Anthony Costanzo, Ifedi at right tackle. Andrew Luck is protected. We're going to get back to running the football, hopefully more effectively. And
make sure that the
franchise quarterback is still there and able to play all 16 games.
That is a big dude. I'm an Ifedi fan. I like that pick. All right, Buck, let's move on. Team 1, the division. Houston Texans picks 22 and 52. And when you give Brock Osweiler the money that they gave him, Bucky,
all about him.
They need to make this draft about him being successful and getting this offense more explosive. And I think at pick 22, Corey Coleman gives him an opportunity to do that. From Baylor, this is a vertical stretch wide receiver. We say it every time, Buck. What are the four routes?
Hit,
slant, post, go. That's it. But
very simple.
He can do some damage there in this offense. Put him opposite DeAndre Hopkins. He'll have time to learn the rest of the route tree, and you can do your damage getting over the top. He's going to see a lot of single coverage, and he can make them pay for that.
He's absolutely going to make them pay because all the attention has to go to DeAndre Hopkins. You have Lamar Miller in the backfield, plenty of one-on-one opportunities in the passing game for Corey Coleman on the backside. We talk about the four routes, his ability to get vertical. If he's able to create a handful of explosive plays, it opens up that offense, makes life easier for Brock Osweiler.
And somebody I think is just going to get better year 2, year 3. You're going to really see it pay off there with Coleman. All right, pick number 52, stay offense. Give him another weapon here, tight end Tyler Higbee. And Tyler Higbee out of Western Kentucky. You hear some rumblings about maybe some medical stuff that has popped up on him. More so probably just the amount of time he's missed throughout his career that can be a little bit of a red flag. But when you watch him on tape, Buck, this is somebody that's got a lot of juice, a lot of explosiveness, and he'd be a nice weapon to kind of gash people down the seam, down the middle of the field.
Kind of reminds me of Travis Kelce in terms
go.
of his ability to catch the ball and make things happen with the ball in his hands. You bring him to the table. You give him an opportunity to get vertical and make those vertical stretch plays right there. The Texans' offense needs to be a little more dynamic in terms of their ability to create explosive plays. Higbee, Coleman, that is a nice haul. I think you feel good about that if you Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, this next season, look, you go into the season with the goal of winning the Super Bowl, but next year, really, they need their quarterback, Brock Osweiler, to kind of justify that contract that they just gave him. I got to believe this draft's about giving him some more weapons.
Has to be. The defense is in place. You have to get the offense up to snuff. Bill O'Brien understands that they need to get the quarterback position solved, so why not give him enough ammunition to be able to be a big-time playmaker?